One, two, two. One, two. It is. I've seen it. I'm already there lighting. I'm already lighting. But the Arewa Broadcast Media Security Summit 2025 with the theme, The North, Existential Threats and National Security. If you have copies of the program, you will notice that by now we should have commenced this event, at least the opening ceremony. We are being delayed for some very fundamental reasons. His Excellency, our chief host, is right now having an event, and because of that, this event is shifted for some minutes and some hours. But any moment from now, we will kickstart the event. And it is also important to tell you that the chairman of the occasion and the person of His Eminence, Sultan of Sokoto, Alhaji Dr. Muhammad Saad Abubakar III, CFR MNI, is also on his way. We are very, very positive he will be reaching here any moment from now. So we crave your indulgence to have patience, enjoy yourself, be in a relaxed mood that I can see you are in, and wait for the appointed time to welcome our distinguished guests, our chief host, distinguished keynote speaker, and various panelists. But talking of panelists, talking of other discussants, I can see one of the very first arrivals is a notable son of the soil, a distinguished scholar, a professor of repute, former chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, and now presidential advisor and coordinator of the livestock reforms. Please put your hands together for Professor Attahiru Jiga. He was one of the earliest arrivals, so you can see we have them here already. Also here is a distinguished scholar, a distinguished professor of mass communication, and Vice Chancellor of Federal University, Kashiri, Professor Patti. Please put your hands together for him. I think this one is not loud enough. Is it because he's not son of the soil? Please put your hands together for Professor Patti. Thank you. Of course, Having welcomed Professor Omar Pate very well, let me also appreciate and welcome in our midst a distinguished son of soil, Ambassador Sahabi Isa Gada. Please put your hands together for him. Of course, another son of the soil whom I think must have stepped out is a distinguished senator, a retired general, former Minister of Internal Affairs, distinguished Senator General Muhammad Magoro, Sarkin Yakin Zuru. He was here much earlier. Please put your hands together for him. Thank you. Please let us also put our hands together for the Kebbi State Chief Judge, Justice Umar Abubakar. Please put your hands together for him. I understand he is here. Thank you. salam.
Kogunan Sokoto ce a gaya ma gashi ne ya zo.
Ina shi
Ga can tsaye.
me a suna ne?
Kogunan Sokoto ce a gaya ma.
In shi ya ce me a suna ne ma na manta.
Wallahi ni ma na manta shi. Ya ce a gaya ma kogunan Sokoto. Ba a tambayi.
A'a wasa ne ke maka.
And then recently, Kaki Usmania. Kaki Daular Usmania. Na ji gana baka tabarkin gwandu. SSG na su ne ba da.
Please, let's put our hands together again for these very, very distinguished broadcasters, veteran broadcasters, and very distinguished personalities of repute. Let us warmly welcome to this summit Kogunan Sakwato, Dr. Muhammad Nasir Allah Bako, a distinguished veteran broadcaster and former Director General of the NBC. Please put your hands together for him. Also here is another veteran broadcaster, Alhaji Bello Abubakar, Tafarkim Gwandu. Please put your hands together for him. Put your hands together for Tafarkim Gwandu, please. Thank you. Of course, we have Mr. Peter Igo, NG Kabi. And very recently, he was elevated to Kakakin Daular Usmaniya. Mr. Peter Igo is a distinguished producer and a veteran broadcaster. Please put your hands together for him. Thank you. Thank you. No, but we have to review. Let's see how it goes. Why did I stop the workshop? Tijani ni boy.
wannan idan energy ya yi kasa akwai protocol
gama ba mu mic din nan. Me download it.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is our singular honor and privilege to announce and welcome our keynote speaker, Lieutenant General Abdurrahman Bello Dambazau, OFR, former Chief of Army Staff and former Minister of Interior. Please let's put our hands for the keynote speaker, please, and welcome him properly. As we crave the indulgence of each and every one of us, okay, CFR, sorry, as we crave the indulgence of each and every one of us, we've been told that the program will start in earnest. Pending that, please bear with us. Once again, we welcome the keynote speaker, Lieutenant General Abdurrahman Bello Dambazau, CFR, former Chief of Army Staff and former Minister of Interior. A fine military officer, distinguished service staff, 2018 Hall of Fame awardee of the College of Education, Health and Human Services from Kent State University, Ohio, USA. Sir, you're welcome, sir. Equally,
Aposayan, let me also add that our keynote speaker is also a distinguished scholar. He is a criminologist with a PhD in criminology, and at the same time a fellow of the Society for Peace Studies and Practice, SPSP. Lieutenant General Abdurrahman Bello Dambazau, CFR, you're welcome, sir. Also here, let us warmly welcome Brigadier General Sani Kuka Sheka Usman, retired. He is a retired Director of Army Public Relations, and now he is a Consultant Director at the Nigerian Army Resource Center. Of course, a fellow of the NIPR, fellow of the SPSP as well. Please put your hands together for these distinguished retired generals. Put your hands together for them. Thank you. Thank you.
it is also our pleasure to acknowledge and welcome Barrister Sambo Aliu, Magajin Rafin Gondu, who is here representing the Emir of Gondu, Alhaji Muhammadu Ilyasu Bashar, the Chairman of Kebbi State Council of Chiefs. Equally, Alhaji Garba Hamis Zuru, the Dan Amanan Zuru, was here representing the Emir of Zuru, Alhaji Muhammadu Mikael Sani Gomo III, the Emir of Zuru. As you are aware, this important occasion will be taking place will be starting in earnest as we await the arrival of His Excellency. We'll be intermittently acknowledging the guests that are here. So also the Board of Trustees of this great forum.
Indeed, before we tell you a little about who constitute the Board of Trustees, it is important to say that this event, the very first Media and Security Summit, is organized by the Arewa Broadcast Media Practitioners Forum in collaboration with the Kebbi State Government. Please put your hands together for that partnership. The northern broadcasting industry is unique, not just in size, not just in linguistics, but in demographic diversities. And because these diversities have led to various challenges, this led to the establishment by a group of northern broadcast media owners to come up with what is now known as the Arewa Media Broadcast Practitioner Forum. The forum is an avenue for northern broadcasters to discuss the day-to-day challenges confronting the industry and seek to evolve processes, policies, and procedures of addressing them. But as you can see, the forum is not just concerning itself with only the challenges of the industry. It is also appropriately looking at why the existential threats exist in the North. And these threats, we all agree, are insecurity, insurgency, banditry, and what have you. The forum is ably chaired by a distinguished and veteran broadcaster and also a print executive. He has the double, if you like, experience of being a print journalist, an editor, a manager of a newspaper, and a broadcaster and a broadcast executive. I'm talking of no other person but Alhaji Abdullahi Yalwa, Ajian Yauri, Chairman Arewa Broadcast Media Practitioners Forum. Please put your hands together for him. Other members of the Board of Trustees of the Arewa Broadcast Media Practitioners Forum include Alhaji Shuaibu Mungadi. Alhaji Shuaibu Mungadi is a distinguished investigative journalist. He has cut his teeth in several investigative fora and brought out a lot of exposés. I would say the EFCC, ICPC, they know him very well. Right now, he is the chairman of Optimal Image Media Limited and the chairman also of the Third Eye Television News. Please put your hands together for Alhaji Shuaibu Mungadi. The next member of the Board of Trustees of the Arewa Broadcast Media Practitioners Forum is also another veteran, another broadcast executive. In fact, a former Director General of the Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria and spokesperson of the League of Northern Democrats. I'm talking of Dr. Ladan Salihu, Bardan Arewan Bauchi. Please put your hands together for him. Bardan Yamma Bauchi, I beg your pardon. There is also a mass communication scholar on the board, of the Arewa broadcast media practitioners. She's an Amazon, someone who has brought and evolved and taught a lot of media practitioners in northern Nigeria and beyond. She's a professor of broadcast communication, one of the very first from northern Nigeria at the Ahmadu Bello University. Professor Ladi Sandra Adamu. I don't know whether she's here, but I have not seen her. But put your hands together for her. She is in House of Parlance, Kallabi Tsakanin Rawunna. Another member of the board is Alhaji Zubairu Abdurrauf Idris. He's a founder and one of the owners of Prestige FM in Minna, Niger State. He's a director of operations of Voice of Nigeria, and at the same time, Damasan Mbernengwari. Please put your hands together for him. The last but not the least member of the Board of Trustees is Alhaji Adamu Chafi. He's a distinguished radio broadcaster, someone who has also cut his teeth in the civil service of Sokoto and Kebbi states. I understand he retired as a permanent secretary. So put your hands together for Alhaji Aliu Adamu Chafi, member of the Board of Trustees, Arewa Broadcast Media Practitioners Forum. Once again, put your hands together for the entire board of the Arewa Media Broadcast Practitioners Forum. They brought us here in collaboration with the Kebbi State government. This applause is not loud enough. It's as if you are not appreciative of the initiative. Please, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
distinguished guests, we would like to welcome Malam Kabir Matal, Abubakar Kabir Matal, the Managing Director of Vision and Parumata Media. Also, Alhaji Bashir Alatu, Wazir Nduzi and Chairman Board of Trustees, Arewa Consultative Forum. Is represented here by Professor Tukur Muhammad Baba, a National Publicity Secretary of ACF. Abdullahi Idris Zulu, the Sadokin Zulu Special Advisor on Communication and Strategy to the Kebbi State Government. Another person worthy of mention is Mr. Samuel Arwan, former Commissioner in the State Security, former spokesperson of the Executive Governor of Kaduna State, and of course, a veteran journalist who is here with us. Welcome each and every one of us.
Good morning from Kebbi States. I am Kanachiko Ojurianum, and we're here live at the Northern Security Summit, hosted by the Arewa Broadcast Forum. And here with me, we have dignitaries here in the hall who are ready to have discussions.
I was scared, man. No come off on the shot because you are here coming this side. No, stay open.
Session, I'll come back downstairs.
We'd like to acknowledge and welcome
So that's what I was.
Malam Jibril Baba Indachi, the DG Voice of Nigeria, who is ably represented by Zubairu Idris Abdurrauf, the Ramasan Binungwari. Welcoming also the MD Third Eye Africa TV, Malam Airo Hassan Kira, the MD and the Chief Executive of Dignity Radio, Malam Aliyu Tanko, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we have the honor to welcome His Eminence, the Sultan of Sokoto, Alhaji Muhammad Saad Abubakar III.
ka look at him masa haka a ka kai ma haka kai shi bai son haka to ka fashi sai ka gyara ma amma za ka ma haka
Sultan of Sokoto, His Eminence Alhaji Muhammad Saad Abubakar III, CFR MNI, the Sultan of Sokoto, you're most welcome, Your Eminence. Today is really a great day, a day to reckon with, not only in the history of this state, but the North and Nigeria in general. Your Eminence, you're most welcome, sir.
We want to most graciously and humbly welcome His Eminence, Alhaji Muhammad Saad Abubakar, CFR MNI, President General, Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs, Chairman, National Council of Traditional Rulers of Nigeria, and Sultan of Sokoto. Please put your hands together for His Eminence. Also here is His Royal Highness Alhaji Samaila Muhammadu Mera, CON, Emir of Argungu. Please put your hands together for His Royal Highness. We also have His Royal Highness Alhaji Dr. Muhammad Zayyan Abdullahi, CON, Emir of Yauri. Put your hands together for His Royal Highness. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't know what
you know that is MC na gona ba wai sai wani ya ga maka ba
tell you, whatever you want to say that time, you can say it. There's no problem. Hey. There is no problem. So that's what you should have said.
Mic testing. Ya amfani da earpiece mana. Test mic. Yana daga. Ka duba ga yana daga. Test mic. Mic testing. Offer. Test mic. 1 3 test mic 2. Test mic. Mic testing mic. Offer. Yana yi ko? Yana yi? Normal.
Announcing the arrival of His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Kebbi State, Comrade Dr. Nasir Idris Bandu, and the Honorable Speaker of Kebbi State House Assembly, Right Honorable Muhammad Usman.
Please put your hands together for His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Kebbi State, Comrade Dr. Nasir Idris. Put your hands together for the Executive Governor of Kebbi State. A very loud appreciation and applause for His Excellency, the Comrade Governor. Please put your hands together for him.
da ƙarfi halukushi ya yi ma Dakta Nasiru ɗan Idrisu masu haye maka sun sha ƙarya Allah gare ka shi ya tsaya maka ka tsere masu gauran gwando kama kujerar ka ce ka zauna mai kera maka ya kero mai nasarar mai nafisa nasarar ga nasarar duka ta dawo ma kai Allah ya ba nasarar duka ka kyale su da kwana rudu kaula sannu da kai kabiru da duwan nasar ya kai kaula ga kunni sannan ga mulki mi ya rage maka mi yayi saura ga nasaba ga tsoron Allah mu canza mu shawo wallahi banda kaura kamar kananan sai maka kauran kwando na yi mafarkin miya ta kuka ana kada ta cikin talle na sai ne barka ya gamiya a ta mamaki makashin kwana na ashe mafarki na da kiɗewa na shaida maka kauran kwando yaƙi sai da uwa da dimashi ka zarkowar kasare man daga kafin su farka kai masu illa kaura kai masu danga danga ba su da zuzu ba su da tarko saura sa su cikin
Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Once again, please put your hands together for our chief host, His Excellency, Comrade Dr. Muhammad Nasir Idris, Aurang Gwandu, Walzon Dawla Usmania, Executive Governor of Kebbi State. It is not loud enough. Put your hands together for our chief host. We wouldn't be here if not for him. Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Kebbi State, His Eminence, the Sultan of Sokoto, Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me humbly request that we all rise for the national anthem.
Nigeria, we hail thee, our own dear native land. Though tribes of Medieval, in brotherhood we stand. Nigerians old and proud to serve a sovereign motherland.
You may all be seated. Thank you so much. Put your hands together for yourselves. Because we appreciate Almighty Allah for bringing us here safely. And we also wish to beseech Him for us to have a very hitch-free and eventful and successful event. We will now call on the Grand Cadi of Kebbi State for the opening prayers.
Jama'a a yi salati zuwa ga manzon Allah da ya talikai sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allahumma salli ala sayyidina Muhammadin adada ma fi ilmin lahi salatan da'imatan bila mulkin lahi ya arhamar rahimin ya rabbal alamin ya rabbana ya rabbana ya rabbana ya rabbana ya rabbana Allah muna roƙonka albarkacin annabinka sallallahu alaihi wasallam Allah ka ba mu lahiya ka ba mu zama lahiya ka ba mu gamawa lahiya Allah muna roƙonka Allah ka ba ƙasan mu zama lahiya Allah ka ruhu asirin mai girma shugaban ƙasa Tinubu Allah shi ƙara mishi lahiya shi ƙara mishi hikimomi sa kuma a gama lahiya mai girma gwamnanmu gwamnan talakawa kwamfadin Nasiru Idris Allah ka san dukkan muradu ne Allah ka biya mishi kuma Allah ya ƙara mishi lahiya mu kuma Allah ka san muradunmu na cewa Allah ya sauwaka dawowarsa don ya ci gaba da yi mana ayyukan da shi kai muna Allah ka tabbata mana haka Allah mana roƙonka shugabanninmu na masarauta Allah ya ƙara masu lahiya ƙara taimakonsu ka tsare su. Allah muna roƙonka wa'annan 'yan jarida suka taru Allah ka taimake su, kuma duk wanda ya zo wannan taro Allah ka kaddari kowa shi koma gidan shi lahiya. Ba mu manta da uwayenmu da ubanninmu da aga hannunka ba Allah. Allah kai musu rahama, Allah kai musu rahama. Wanda a cikin wani masifa ko bala'i Allah ka juya ka mai shi mai rahama, wanda a cikin rahama Allah ka daɗa mishi. Mu kuma muka rage Allah ka yi mana arzikin zuwa lahira lahiya cikin aminci, kuma Allah ka haɗa mu da manzon Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allahumma ya mansur wa la yunsaru, wa hazil wa la yuhazalu, wa yudi wa la yuda, wa yamna wa la yumna'u, wa yahinu wa la yahanu, wa yahalu wa la yuhaluhu, wa yurdu wa la yurdu alayhi, wa yaglibu wa la yuglabu, wa yakhalu wa la yakhalu. اللهم يا الله يا الله يا من لا تهد داعته ولا تلونه المعصية إبراهيم الصالحات وانشر الحسنات وقنا وجعل الهدية والدنيا بجاه هل البرية كاشف الغمة صلى الله عليه وسلم. ربنا تقبل منا بحق لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.
Kaka kaura ka shige daga an duba wanda na dubowa. Kama kujerar da ce ka zauna mai kera maka ya kero ma.
Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Equity State. When I say welcome to Equity State, please, I need a big applause. Welcome to Equity State. Welcome to Equity State. Welcome to the state that a comrade is doing wonderfully well. Thank you. And of course, welcome to the very first Media and Security Summit with the theme Existential Threats and National Security, which is organized by the Arewa Broadcast Media Security Forum in collaboration with no other person but the Kebbi State government, led now by this indefatigable chief host of this summit, His Excellency Comrade Dr. Muhammad Nasir Idris, Auran Gwandu, Gwarzon Daular Usmaniya, Executive Governor, Kebbi State. Other representatives of executive governors here are present. Chief Judge of Kebbi State, my Lord Justice Umar Abubakar. Grand Qadi of Kebbi State, Qadi Sadiq Usman Mukhtar. Secretary to the Government of Kebbi State, Yakubu Bala Tafida. Members of the National Assembly here present, honorable ministers here present, His Eminence, the chairman of this summit, His Eminence Alhaji Dr. Muhammad Saad Abubakar, CFR MNI, President General, Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs, and Chairman, National Council of Traditional Rulers of Nigeria. Please, a very big warm applause for His Eminence. Our keynote speaker, Lieutenant General Abdurrahman Dambazaw, former Minister of Interior, a distinguished scholar, a criminologist, and fellow of the Society for Peace Studies and Practice, SPSP. Please put your hands together for our keynote speaker. Members of the Kebbi State Executive Council here present, members of the Executive Councils from Sokoto, Zamfara, and other neighboring states here present, members of the state assemblies from Kebbi, Sokoto, Zamfara, and other states here present, our royal fathers, here present, and here will specifically mention His Royal Highness Alhaji Samaila Muhammadu Mera, CON, Emir of Argungu, and His Royal Highness Alhaji Dr. Muhammad Zayyano Abdullahi, CON, Emir of Yauri. I understand His Royal Highness, the Emir of Zuru, is represented. Other royal fathers here present, Chairman of the Arewa Broadcast Media Practitioners Forum, who are the co-organizers of this forum with the Kebbi State Government, Alhaji Abdullahi Arewa Ajian Yauri. Please put your hands together for a distinguished media executive, a veteran print and broadcast media personality. Other members of the Board of Trustees here present, and namely, they are Alhaji Shuaibu Mungadi, Dr. Ladan Salihu, Professor Ladi Sandra Adamu, Alhaji Zubairu Abdurrauf Idris, and Alhaji Aliu Adamu Chari. Former Chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor Attahiru Jega, now Presidential Advisor and Coordinator of the Presidential Livestock Reform. We also have General Muhammadu Magoro, a distinguished senator, Sarkinyak in Zuru, and former Minister of Internal Affairs. Distinguished veterans of broadcast and print medium that are here with us, namely Dr. Muhammad Nasir Al-Ladi Bako, former Director General of the NBC, Kogunan Sakwato, Alhaji Bello Abubakar Tafarkin Gwandu, Dr. Peter Igo, NG Kan Gwandu, and Kakakin NG Kan Kabi, and Kakakin Daular Usmaniya. Also here is His Excellency Ambassador Saidu Usman Akingari, former Executive Governor of Kebbi State. I beg your pardon, General Muhammadu Bagoro is Galadi Manzuru, not Sarkinya Yamzu. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, distinguished members of the Fourth Estate of the Realm, you are all welcome to this very first summit and first media and security summit that seeks to look and examine the existential threats and national security in northern Nigeria. My colleague Abba Zayana will come here to introduce to us the very, very first speaker, someone that will give us an address of welcome, who is the chairman of this Arewa Broadcast Media Forum. Abba Zayana, over to you.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Your Excellencies, Your Highnesses, His Eminence, Your Highnesses, other distinguished personalities that are here present today, the keynote speaker, and all other invited guests. Assalamu alaikum. It is with deep sense of duty and high resolve that we are gathered here for a purpose. The problem that has been prevailing in Nigeria and the North in particular. We are here because there is a problem. I want to get your attention, with the permission of His Excellency and the Eminence, His Eminence. I want to say something and request each and every one of us to do, please. Look at the person next to you and say Salaam Alaikum, because we need it. Please, let's just quickly do that. Let's do that quickly. Let's do that. Now that we have asked for God's blessings, let's clap for ourselves. the Northern Arewa media practitioners and other veterans deemed it necessary because this is a calamity that has befallen us. And this gathering today in this beautiful city, Your Excellency, when we came, some of us missed their ways because of the transformation that you have done in Kebbi. We congratulate you and the people of Kebbi for the doggedness and the activities of the governor. They said to sin, according to Abraham Lincoln, he said to sin by silence when people should protest makes cowards of men. Today we are here to talk about our problem and prefer solutions. And to welcome us all, it is my singular honor and privilege to invite the chairman of the Arewa Broadcast Media, the Arewa Northern Arewa Broadcast Media, the Ajay Nyawuri, Alhaji Abdullahi Yalwa, a veteran journalist or broadcaster. Let's please welcome him as he comes up, please. He's our chairman, and today the North is blessed with beautiful and excellent broadcast journalists. And it's time for us now to use that talent to help the country. Please let's welcome him as he steps in. Please, another round of applause.
Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Kebbi State, Dr. Nasir Kaurangwandu, Gamjin Yauri, would do apology, Your Eminence. I'm a subject of the Emir of Yauri, and other distinguished titles that have been given to him, including the one in the Dolo Osmania. We are starting this summit, Your Excellency, on a good note. We have heard of the release of the Deputy Speaker of Kebbi State. We are therefore congratulating your efforts, Your Excellency. Allah ya ba mu hankuri. This summit is being held under the shadows of U.S. President Donald Trump's threat to invade Nigeria. According to him, there is a Christian genocide taking place in our own country. I'm glad at the level of discuss Nigerians had done, and to show there is no genocide. Of course, there are challenges, and no one should deny that. And we're doing our best. We are praying to God for his mercies, and we pray in no time we shall see the light again. At the national level, new service chiefs have been inaugurated with the marching order to do something about the challenges we face. Here in Kebbi, today, the state is collaborating with us realizing the importance of the television and radio, the principal agents of mass communication. We do apologize, Professor Pate. I hope I have not encroached into your field. But radio and television are critical. And that is why we have decided to collaborate with the Kebbi State government. And this summit, if you notice, is part of a series of activities by the Kebbi State government to engage the people of Kebbi, the people of the North, and the people of Nigeria. We had the Kebbi Elders Summit, which was followed by the Progressive Governors Forum and the General Assembly of the Northern Traditional Rulers Council. And today we're here. Democracy can only thrive when we engage the people. So, Your Excellency, you deserve a pat on the back, and we hope you continue with this effort. Nigeria is facing multidimensional security challenges. Luckily, we have General Dambano, a former Chief of Army Staff, a former Minister of Interior, and a scholar in criminology. I'm sure since the area of the Professor General Pede Monabiri Har Awutia. But we have certain questions to ask. We hope this seminar summit will deal with the issue of insistent blame, the blame game. Those in authorities are not doing much. Our leaders are not doing this. They are not doing that. But there are critical questions to ask. When these marauders are on their trail of carnage, who provides them with their basic needs? While most of us are in bed, by 4 a.m., 5 a.m., the bandits have taken supply of their hot bread. You have to wait till 8 or 9 to buy your home. Who provides these services? So we must have a holistic and collective understanding. There are certain suggestions I hope we might consider, especially on the role of the media. We are to hold those in authority accountable. But the question to ask, are we ourselves accountable? This is one of the basic challenges. We cannot afford to politicize insecurity. You can have your political party disagreements, and it's allowed in democracy. But insecurity should be a collective action. Your Eminence, I've written a book on democracy and traditional institutions, which I was pleased to have given you a copy in Abuja. I've argued in that book, whereas the system of modern statecraft eulogize the freedom of an individual, the traditional institution is concerned with the health of the state, security. We didn't have certain daji or certain yaki for nothing. Let's go back to our history. There is no emir worth his salt who doesn't know the hideout of criminals in this land. No emir. They all know because they have taken responsibility for their leadership. So I hope our specialists here will find a mention in our war against insecurity for a place for our traditional rulers. The federal government is proposing to appoint ambassadors. This has been a critical missing link. We pray that in appointing ambassadors to our neighboring states, Niger, Burkina Faso, Mali, Chad, we must appoint people who will rebuild the relationship. Don't bring anybody who doesn't appreciate or understand. Nigeria can never achieve full security unless our neighbors, who incidentally are also our brothers, His Eminence, the Emir of Arewa, all have relatives across the borders that we call Niger or other countries. We must build that relationship. Your Excellency, the day has been well spent. We thank you very much for agreeing to host. I was telling Mungadi when he was driving me around Kebbi, it felt like I was in a different place. And I mean this sincerely. I was a commissioner here in 1994 with His Royal Highness as a fellow commissioner. So we can see the changes that are being made. We only pray you do not detract yourself, Your Excellency, from political dissertations. Do what you have to do because that is what you've been elected to do. Members of this committee, Arewa Broadcast Media Practitioners Forum, I thank you very much for deciding to host this summit in Kebbi State. Our colleagues have said, oh, why is it that this summit is held in Kebbi? Usually such summits are held in Kaduna, Kano. Well, a new Kano has emerged in Kebbi. After this, we can go anywhere else. But we're here today because the governor said, come, I will host you. So, Mungadi, you have been our host since we came. We thank you very much. And the local organizing committee headed by the Commissioner of Information has also done a tremendous job. We are also grateful to them. Thank you very much. May God bequeath us a successful summit, and I hope our specialists will discuss honestly, and the outcome of this discussion will not go like any other discussion. We are going to make a report. We will submit to the state government. We will submit to every agent concerned so that in the end, we shall be able to address the issues of insecurity and cikin iko Allah, we may find a path for peace. Thank you, Your Excellency. Thank you, Your Eminence. Thank you, distinguished invited guests. It's my pleasure. I appreciate it.
Please, let's put our hands together for the chairman of the Board of Trustees of the Arewa Broadcast Practitioners Forum. This is a broadcast event, so it is natural that this event should be taken live. But it is important to honor and appreciate the various media organizations that are taking us live as we speak. We have the Third Eye African Television, which is whose chairman is one of the members of the Board of Trustees, Alhaji Shuaibu Mungadi. We also have Rima FM and television. We also have Bayawura FM, Caliphate Radio Sokoto, Bayawura FM, Caliphate Radio Sokoto, Albarka Radio Bauchi, and Gamji Radio and television. And for your information, Albarka Radio is also owned by one of the members of the Board of Trustees in person of Dr. Ladam Sani. Please put your hands together for him. It's our time for us to listen to a revered traditional ruler. In fact, the very apex of traditional rulership in this country, the chairman of the Senate, His Eminence Al-Hadi Dr. Muhammad Saad Abubakar, CFR MNI, President General, Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs, and Chairman, National Council of Traditional Rulers of Nigeria. Your Eminence, please put your hands together for him, very loudly, until he comes to the podium.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وصلى الله على النبي الكريم. Your Excellency, the Governor of Kebbi State, Kuma Barolomu, Golugama Son, Shigaba Uma, the Honorable Speaker, Rankari, Chief Judge, my most beloved brothers and colleagues and friends, national leaders here, especially Emir Barabungu, Yauri, and of course, Galadima. If Emir Abu is not around, if you don't want to say something, you say it in front of Galadima, it's the same thing. So, Anchi, I had a really hard work there. Galadima Kajiko. I would like to recognize the keynote speaker. Somebody we grew up together. Our path crossed January 1970 in Arewa College, Zaria, the only college that produced 6 heads of state in the history of this country. We are classmates in Arewa College with General Dambazo, and we met in the Nigerian Army. He rose to become Chief Army Staff, and of course, I rose to become his Commander-in-Chief as a Muslim leader. And we are happy to have you because this group is going to have a better speaker than General Dambazo because of his wealth of experience as a general, as a Chief Army Staff, as somebody who rose up in the military police and has been dealing with criminals and whatever. So he knows a lot about security and insecurity. I've seen Professor Atayur Jega, one of our speakers here, and all other distinguished brothers and sisters here. Let me not fail to recognize the SSG, the powerhouse of the government of Kebbi State. I greet you in the best form of greeting. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I deliberately left Sa'id Nasam Aikin Gari because when he was a young officer in the customs, he was always in my house in the Kele Cantonment. And now, as a former governor, he's still very strong and working hard. Keep on supporting the governor of Kebbi because this is one that I've always said it. Whenever a governor is having a program, you see other governors coming to support it. That's how it's supposed to be. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank this media group, Arewa Media Group. When I got a call from Laden Salihu, intimating me of this program in Benin Kebbi on this day. And I told him, unfortunately, I have a series of engagements for the next 3-4 weeks. But he now said, if I couldn't make it, please I should send a representative. I said, inshallah, the Emir of Argungu will represent me. He said, that was quite okay. Just some hours ago, I talked to the Emir of Argungu that I have seen the topic of this program, and I've seen the people invited to speak at this program. And I know as a military officer, the importance of security in our lives, in whatever form. And I felt as somebody who is at the forefront of telling the truth to leaders and others, knowing a little bit about security, I tried not to be away from this program. And as Almighty Allah would have it, my own God said, no, His Eminence, don't worry, we will bring you to Kebbi. So first thing this morning, I got a flight from Abuja to Kebbi to attend this program. And I'm sure Ladan and Co will be very happy to see me here this morning. But besides that one, it goes to show the importance we attach to anything called security issue as leaders. Not just because you happen to pass with the military, but any leader must take seriously the security issue in his community. And I feel this is speaking for the Northwest region where we have a lot of problems. And so I'd like to thank the governor and all others who are here today for this very important program, the first of its kind. And Kebbi has been, Kebbi now has been, I can say it's been called a conference city. Because I've been here so many times for programs. Some weeks back, we held our Northern Traditional Rulers conference here in Benin Kebbi. And before then, too, I've been here a couple of times. So just let the governor thank Almighty Allah that you were able to bring people here to hold these conferences here, because it shows the level of development of any particular place whenever you have visitors coming. And I remember also it's all over the town. You have scattered our city with posters of the governors of APs that have been here. So our city people are complaining. You have defaced the city with posters of politicians. We want you to beautify the city with the millions of dollars and naira that will make the common man. That's why well, we have alternatives. I think these people must be in the military because we always have backup. And what I was saying about the governor, I think the governor didn't want to say it, but I'll say it. The work you are doing for the people, let people show it and let people appreciate it. And I believe here in this call, a lot of people are saying so many good things about what you are doing. So keep it up, and may Allah guide us aright. The importance of security, as I have said, cannot be overemphasized. We have said it so many times, security is everybody's responsibility. Not only governor, not only generals, not only local government chairman, not only other leaders. Everybody has a role to play in security. And that's why I believe this summit is also at the right time. And I don't want anybody to say we have been having too many conferences on issues like this. We can never have enough of dialogue, enough of conferences talking about our problems. And there's no way ever we will solve all problems facing us, not only in this country but in the world. What leaders must always try to do is to reduce to the barest minimum the problems facing the common man who will go about his life serving Almighty, that requested him to worship him. And that's exactly what we've been talking about. So I believe such conferences, such meetings can never be too much or too many. And I want to encourage, this is the first one, encourage others too to come up, because the more we come together and discuss with one another and bring up possible solutions, the better for us. Because no one person has the answer to all our problems. No one person. The governor doesn't have answers to all the problems. That's why he has the SLG, he has the deputy governor, he has the grand cadi, he has chief judge, and of course, he has people like us to advise him, to push him along to do what is right. So we can never have enough of such conferences. Let nobody go out there saying that this is one conference too many. The more we have such conferences, the more we talk, the more we understand what we are supposed to do, and the better for us. And I believe this is another forum where we need to open up and speak to one another in the best serious way possible. How do we overcome these challenges? Some 15 years ago, we were never like this. We didn't have all this insecurity. Even though, when I say this, I mean this level, where the deputy speaker would be abducted and hundreds of millions would be asked from him, and then when the money is paid, somehow he is released, and people are clapping. I think we should be sad. We shouldn't be glad because the deputy speaker was released. Yes, it's something that Almighty has already said it will happen, but we should be serious enough to take measures to avoid such repetition of such problems. And I think such forum here, like this one, should be able to give us what we need to do, how we should do such things, and what are the possible ways of success. And I think by coming together, because like I've always said, once you know you have a problem, you have half of the solution. Now we know we have a very big problem of insecurity. We have half of the solution. By coming together, by discussing with one another, and by being extremely serious about how to resolve these issues. How do you resolve insecurity issues? Because that's the monster that's bedeviling us. You must have understanding. How do you have understanding? You must sit down with one another and discuss such issues. When you discuss, what are the outcomes? How do you now go ahead and make sure that you implement such decisions you have taken? Because like I heard from the previous speaker, issue I have said several times, problem is on lack of implementation, not lack of what we want to do, what we should do to have peace. We have so many fora. And I want to, once more, as I close this my remarks, call on all of us, as Muslims, as Christians, as brothers to one another, to sit together and discuss what are the problems we are facing. Not allow somebody somewhere to say, this is what we are facing. We know where, they say he who wears the shoe knows where it pinches. We wear the shoe, we know where our problems are. How do we resolve these problems? The best and the most important is understanding. You must understand one another. I understand you are a Christian, I'm a Muslim, you are a Jew, I'm a Hindu, or whatever it is. Then we know who we are. That's understanding. We cannot do that unless we come together and sit down and talk. And that's one of the fora that we're having today, to talk to one another. Because at our level, we have Nigerian Religious Council, a forum for Muslim and Christian leaders that have been put together since Rotamachida was alive. And I always felt it more. And we've been talking to one another as Christians and Muslim leaders. We have Interfaith Initiative for Peace. Myself and Kalina Onaikom put that NGO together, and we've been working for the last 12, 13 years. So we have so many platforms where we can discuss issues affecting us. Let's strengthen such discussions. Let's not allow those who hate our country intervene and try to divide the country and spoil our country, spoil our relationship, because I know there are so many families where you have Christians and Muslims in one family. The father is a Muslim, the wife is a Christian, the children will follow whoever they believe they want. Let's respect one another, respect our religions. Let's work for a better and more productive Nigeria. We can't do that unless there is security. And if there's no development, there's no nation, no community. So let's thank the governor once more for hosting this program and for dragging me to be the chairman of this program by the Arewa Media Professional Group. And I thank Almighty that I'm part of this historic gathering, the first we're having. And we wish you all the very best and Almighty Allah's guidance and blessing. And let's not be afraid of taking decisions. Let's not be afraid of taking decisions. Whatever we believe we should do, we must do to safeguard our security, safeguard our country, our communities. And inshallah, Nigeria will be a much, much better place to be. Nigeria will be a much, much more humane place to be. And those who don't wish us well will only sit down in one corner and continue grumbling, but Nigeria will develop and rise up to the highest height Almighty Allah has blessed us. We thank you for coming. We thank all of who are here, the keynote speaker, and all other distinguished ladies and gentlemen. And I thank you very much. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Let us again please appreciate His Eminence, the Sultan, Sokoto Alhaji Muhammad Saad Abubakar, CFR MNI, the Sultan of Sokoto. Your Excellency, other distinguished guests here, His Eminence and other Royal Highnesses here, we beg to make slight change. There's an adjustment to be made here. Looking at the program, you see that the next item ought to have been the keynote address, but we are shelving it to allow for the good messages to be taken, so much so that the keynote speaker will speak afterwards. It is now my singular honor and privilege to invite the first goodwill messenger who will deliver the goodwill message, the former governor of Kebbi State, His Excellency Alhaji Sahidu Usman Nasam Mutakingari. I have a few minutes to give out his goodwill message for this wonderful. أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وصلى الله على النبي الكريم. Your Excellency, the Governor of Kebbi State, His Eminence, the Sultan of Sokoto, all eminent personalities here present, Assalamu alaikum. First and foremost, let me thank the broadcast group for bringing this summit to Kebbi State. This will shed light on what Kebbi has been doing and advise us on the way forward. The governor has been doing very, very well. And he has been involving people in whatever he has been doing. He has made the atmosphere in Kebbi State conducive for everybody to come and participate in what is happening in Kebbi. And today, we have experts in security who are here, and inshallah, by the end of the day, whatever has been discussed here, we'll try and implement it. Thank you very much.
Please let us appreciate the former executive governor of Kebbi State, Alhaji Sayyid Usman na samu aikin gari. The next person to deliver his goodwill message is not with us physically, but he has sent in an audio message. And the technicians have assured me that there will not be any break. If you are ready, he is Engineer Abdullahi Sule, Executive Governor, Nasarawa State. Please play on.
So we thank God that it has worked for us in Nasarawa State. And I believe it will work for us in northern part of Nigeria. Because anytime there is insecurity in any part of northern Nigeria, we believe that it also affects us. Because sometimes when some of those people who are causing this insecurity are kicked out of one part of the country, we usually run into another part of the country. So that's the reason why we want to ensure that there is security. One of the problems we have in the northern part of the country is the problem of poverty, the problem of climate change, the problem of having nothing to do. You know, so once you have a lot of people who are graduating and they have nothing to do, they become easy target for some of these people who are looking for aspect of causing us harm, you know, to actually recruit them. Well, anytime you have insecurity, you know, there are several factors that cause insecurity. And the only way that we can resolve this security amicably and effectively is to go to the roots of the causes. Once we just walk around the security without going through the root causes of the insecurity, you know, it's only a matter of time it will come back to us. This is an issue that is being discussed at the Northern Governors Forum. In fact, the Northern Governors Forum came up with about 4 different committees that will look into most of these areas you have mentioned. And I'm part of one of the committees, you know, for both agriculture and then economic development of the northern part of the country. So I think at that level, we should be able to come up with the plan, because this is the plan that the Northern Governors have in mind, that we should look at our areas of competitive advantage, you know, and then focus on that. Instead of everybody doing the same thing, you know, we should look at that. But then the insecurity, especially in the Northwest, has made it very difficult to implement some of these plans that we have. So that's why I say I'm happy that we are now beginning to come up with this summit that will look at the North as a whole, as an entity, and then we'll profile solutions, you know, to the direction to go. Because by the time that comes up, you know, a lot of things in the North will not be taking place with the level of insecurity that we are seeing. Just days ago, you know, we had the opportunity, the governor of Zamfara, governor of Taraba, and I, to fly most part of the northern part of the country. We left Abuja and actually flew to Kaduna. After Kaduna, we flew to Jos. After Jos, we went to Maiduguri and then came back to Abuja. So from the air, and the weather was very clear, from the air actually you will see the massive availability, the massive profits for agriculture, and a lot of the land not cultivated. You know, so this is some of the things that you can see that we were talking in the place, you know, about the potentials that are there for agriculture. And you will see this place is excellent for agriculture, to do cassava. Another place is very good, you know, to do yam. Another place is very good to do corn. Another place is very good to do rice. Another, you know, so you will see all these kinds of things. And the North is so beautifully surrounded by a lot of rivers. You know, not necessarily we were flying and then we came across the Kaduna River. Then we went through and then we saw River Niger. We went through, we saw, you know, partly River Benue, and that. So those are the kinds of things that you see. apart from several other rivers like the Deaf River and the rest of that you see in the northern part of the country. So the north is highly blessed, with opportunities for agriculture. In fact, as we landed at the Maiduguri airport, I was asking the governor of Borno, I say, I have seen massive irrigation that you are doing. He said, yes, but there is also natural irrigation, that he has seen because of the rains had just stopped. And the whole place green everywhere. So I think the summit is expected to look at the causes and to bring out these causes. So I'm expecting that at the end of the summit, there is going to be a communique that will go to the root causes of this insecurity, including climate change. And the northern governors are working on these various areas. And by the grace of God, we shall be able to find solutions. So once more, I commend my dear friend, the governor of Kebbi for this. And I commend Abdullahi Arewa and his team, for initiating this idea and allowing me to also speak to them via video.
Thank you very much. Please let's give the Executive Governor of Nasarawa another big round of applause. There are some apologies received from Borno State, Zamfara State, and Katsina State, and Bishop Matthew Hassan Kuka for their inability to be with us here, but they sent apologies. Thank you. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for us to invite the man of the moment, the man that we have been waiting for, Lieutenant General Abraman Bello Dambazon, CFR, former Chief of Staff, former Minister of Interior, Chief of Army Staff, thank you, a strategist in national and regional security, National Productivity Order of Merit, Distinguished Service Star, 2018 Hall of Fame awardee of the College of Education, Health and Human Service from Ohio University, and also Colonel Perlal Memorial Gold Medal Award for Best Thesis at National Defense College, Delhi, India. The General, please.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Kebbi State, Doctor and also Comrade Kauram Gwandu, the Chairman of the occasion, Alhaji Dr. Abubakar Sa'ad, the Sultan of Sokoto, the Speaker, Kebbi State House of Assembly, Chief Judge, Kebbi State, and Grand Kadi, Kebbi State, members of the Kebbi State Assembly, the SSG, our royal fathers, the emirs of Argungu and Yauri, the Galadima Zulu, who is representing the emir of Zulu here, the chairman Arewa Broadcasters Media Forum, who is the Hajian Yauri, distinguished I want to specifically also recognize the former chairman INEC, Professor Mahmoud Jiga, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. First, I want to appreciate the organizers, Arewa Broadcasting Media Practitioners Forum, who met me about 10 days ago in my office to offer me this invitation. Even though I thought that I told them the time was so short, I think it was Mungadi who blackmailed me into accept. I won't say what he told me himself and Dr. Laida, but I'm very glad to be here because if not for anything, it is mandatory on my part to pay back to society from what I have gained. Because I told them that time, I said, people of our age from 60 and above at least, we went to school, from primary school, secondary school, to university free. The government paid for us, Arewa government paid for us. And we have no reason not to ensure that we contribute to growth and development of this country. Even if we want to be selfish to do that, because we also have children and grandchildren. So we want them to have future. After listening to, and when I was coming into this hall, something came to my mind. About 7 years ago, we were invited for similar issue on security. And I came in here in my capacity as Minister of Interior then. And we were to meet some leadership, Argos of the Fulani community, who the governor then, who is now, I think, the Minister of Budget, invited so as to discuss a way out to deal with the situation. And some mischief makers, without me knowing, after we left here, started writing that we gathered and decided that we were going to give Fulani bandits 100 billion naira. So I'm happy that the organizers are not only broadcast, but they are seasoned journalists. I hope you cover my back this time. After listening to the goodwill message from His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Nasarawa State, Engineer A.A. Sule, I asked my ADC whether he shared my paper with him. Because, seriously, what he mentioned is very, very close to what I have to say this morning. So to begin with, I'm highly honored and privileged to be invited as the keynote speaker on the theme, the North Existential Threat and National Security. This topic is critical, not only to the people northern Nigeria, but also to the entire nation, as it directly impacts our collective security, stability, and prosperity. Northern Nigeria is a vital pillar of national identity and stability. Its rich cultural diversity and vast economic potential are assets to the entire country. However, the region faces significant existential threats that, if unaddressed, could destabilize both the North and Nigeria at large. This summit is an opportunity to move beyond discussion towards practical, actionable policy solutions, just as His Eminence the Sultan said in his speech. We must face these challenges head-on and speak honestly to ourselves without sugarcoating or embellishment. As the saying goes, truth is bitter. It is time to accept the hard realities and awaken from complacency. The North is currently under scrutiny, with accusations of Christian genocide circulating nationally and internationally. Meanwhile, there has been a definite silence from the northern leadership regarding the killings of Muslims during prayers in mosques across Borno, Katsina, Zamfara, an issue persisting for over 2 decades. From the assassination of Sheikh Jafar Adam in 2007 to the recent incidents that occurred in Borno, Zamfara, and Katsina. Our reluctance to question these tragedies raises uncomfortable questions about their perpetrators' motivations. Will Muslims murder fellow Muslims while praying in a mosque? It is very easy for anyone to say Allahu Akbar while carrying out such dastardly acts of murder. However, this is not the issue that brought us here today, but it is worth reflecting on. Trump's threat to land American boots on Nigeria's territory to tackle violent non-state actors shows our incapacity to tackle it on our own, as the problem has lingered for nearly 2 decades. We have reached a situation whereby the insurgents and bandits call the shots by physically occupying communities, collecting taxes from the people, making laws for them, and coercing them into signing agreements. They move around branding high-caliber weapons and ammunition, while the people remain helpless. All our rural communities are vulnerable and at the mercy of violent criminals. Their violence must be tamed and contained. But because Trump's resolve to intervene is for the non-existent Christian genocide, we would have welcomed it, even though we are aware that America does not give a free lunch. The North has suffered and endured violence from non-state actors, resulting in loss of life, dismissment, and destruction of livelihoods. Insurgency, banditry, cattle rustling, kidnapping, and harder farmer conflicts have generated widespread fear, restricted movement, triggered humanitarian crisis, including the denial of education and worsening food insecurity. What began as terrorism in the Northeast has now spread to the Northwest and North Central regions. Beneath these immediate threats lie deeper issues such as poverty, inadequate health care, religious extremism, and the erosion of family and societal values, which are the root causes of insecurity in the North. When discussing existential threats in northern Nigeria, we immediately think of these violent conflicts and clashes. These are not abstract dangers. They have tangible and devastating effects. They instill fear, restrict movement, claim lives, and destroy property. Thousands have been killed or wounded, and millions have been displaced. Children are kept from school due to the threat of abduction, and farmers are unable to tend their fields. Herders have had their cattle lost and their communities destroyed. The number of widows and orphans has swelled. These threats rob us of our freedom from fear and have persisted for more than 2 decades, as I said earlier. However, underlying this are even more profound existential threats, which I mentioned, the root causes, the triggers and drivers of insurgency, terrorism, etc. Our focus must shift to these fundamental threats, which nurture criminal violence and extremism. They are unseen forces that allow insecurities to flourish. Poverty is a prime example. Of the 90 million Nigerians living in extreme poverty, 63% are from the north. Over 70% Over 70% of those experiencing multidimensional poverty are from the north. These underground existential threats are not only killing people, but they are also destroying northern Nigeria. Healthcare is another critical issue. Nigeria accounts for over 29% of global maternal death, with an estimated 75,000 women dying in childbirth every year. In the north, maternal mortality exceeds 1,000 deaths per 100,000 live births, far above the national average. Factors such as weak health infrastructure, limited access, poverty, illiteracy, and conflict exacerbate this crisis. The infant mortality is also alarmingly high, particularly in the northwest and northeast, due to healthcare access and low levels of maternal education. Now, religious extremism and intolerance are among the gravest existential threats in northern Nigeria. While the Constitution guarantees freedom of religion, the proliferation of unqualified clerics has led to intra- and inter-religious rivalry and enmity. Through radical preaching, clerics have sown division and hatred, culminating in the rise of groups like Boko Haram, who exploit ignorance of the truth to recruit followers for violent acts of terrorism. Religious clerics hurl insults at each other while condemning themselves to hell, as if they hold the keys to hell's gates. Through their preaching, they radicalize their followers and create hatred in their minds. Now, the erosion of family values and societal values further undermine social cohesion. Values such as respect, honesty, integrity, truthfulness, courage, patriotism, responsibility, loyalty, and hard work have diminished. The collapse of these values is a major driver of insecurity in Nigeria. Upholding these values will not only promote and enforce building a cohesive and resilient society, but also foster trust, cooperation, and social harmony, which are essential for maintaining security and preventing conflict. Youth, influenced by social media, often disregard elders and traditional norms, while parents neglect responsibilities. Politicization of traditional institutions has weakened their authority and instability in key emirates, such as Kano, threatens the entire region. Today, the National Traditional Rulers Council, which needs to address religious issues such as insecurity, peace, and sustainability, sits with an empty chair representing the Kano Emirate. Kano not only boasts the largest population in the region, but is also a major center of commerce. It is the fourth in order of protocol in the country, and is a major Islamic center in Nigeria. We cannot continue to ignore this politically induced crisis, which has caused divisions and further reduced the significance of northern traditional institutions. Traditional rulers, once custodians of societal values, are losing their influence. And with them, the fabric of northern society is unraveling. When population is not developed as human capital, it becomes a burden. The lack of investment in education, skills, and healthcare in northern Nigeria has left its large youth population vulnerable. The region has one of the world's highest rates of out-of-school children, with over 10 million children not attending school. Poverty and lack of education make young people susceptible to recruitment by terrorists and bandits. Youth unemployment fuels crime, drug abuse, and other social vices. Drug abuse, while more prevalent in the southern Nigeria, is a growing concern in the north and is cited as one of the major factors accelerating conflict. Climate change has hit the north hardest, bringing higher temperatures, droughts, erratic rainfall, and desertification. These environmental challenges reduce agricultural productivity, worsen food insecurity, and increase the scarcity of water. Extreme weather events, health issues are increasing, exacerbated by displacement and conflict. The resulting resource-based conflicts, especially between herders and farmers, are often mischaracterized as ethnic or religious disputes, leading to violence, cattle rustling, and displacement. They have resulted in killings and reprisals, cattle rustling, community displacement, and forced migration. A significant obstacle is our reluctance to accept reality and seek solutions. For example, delayed rainfall is often attributed to divine collective punishment rather than recognizing leadership failures in agricultural investment. If delayed rainfall is divine punishment for the sins we committed, how do we attribute the complete absence of rainfall in Saudi Arabia, the custodian of the two holy mosques? Egypt, with far less rainfall than northern Nigeria, has achieved food security through effective irrigation using the Nile River. and agricultural innovation. Northern Nigeria, blessed with abundant water resources, as the governor of Nasarawa mentioned. Yet, underutilization and poor maintenance of irrigation infrastructure hinder agricultural productivity. For example, I'm not sure if past Kano state governments have done anything to add value to the irrigation scheme that late Governor Audu Bako implemented in 1970s. Governors can also encourage the use of greenhouses and other methods of controlled farming without waiting for annual rainfall. Our leaders must invest in agricultural infrastructure and modern farming techniques to harness these opportunities. Despite having approximately 34 million hectares of arable land, which is over half the region's area, only a fraction is cultivated due to outdated farming methods, lack of irrigation, climate impacts, and insecurity. The North, Nigeria's food basket, faces food insecurity, underscoring the need for mechanization, improved seed and technology. Political leaders must invest in agriculture, promote large-scale production, and aim for both domestic consumption and exports. This will reduce poverty, unemployment, and conflict, making it harder for violent groups to recruit and also curb social vices. There is a threat to Nigeria's sovereignty and territorial integrity, exemplified by U.S. threats over allegations of Christian genocide. This may be linked to the global competition for Africa's resources. There seems to be, with Nigeria's rare earth metals elements attracting international interests, there seems to be a second wave of the scramble for Africa among the global powers, and Nigeria has become a country of particular interest, not a country of particular concern, due to its huge reserves in rare earth elements. The global quest for critical minerals is intensifying, and at its heart lies the surging demand for rare earth minerals. The 17 indispensable elements are the lifeblood of modern technology, powering everything from smartphones and electric vehicles to wind turbines and advanced defense systems. Northern Nigeria is rich in minerals, oil, and gas, yet illegal mining thrives due to neglect. Furthermore, all but one of the 13 states in Nigeria, with proven huge reserves of these rare earth minerals, are in the north. Only Akwa Ibom belongs to that group. And this is according to U.S. Geological Survey, which highlighted Nigeria's impressive reserves of the major rare earth element called monazite ore, estimated to be approximately 6 million tons, making Nigeria a potential major player in the world. I pray that as soon as the governors get back to their states, they should establish Ministry of Mineral Resources to complement the relevant federal government ministry in managing the resources in their respective states. I'm aware that solid minerals are under exclusive list, but the states have the power to invite investors and facilitate mining licenses through which additional revenue will be realized. Human trafficking and modern slavery, including child abduction, are serious security threats. While Southerners are trafficked to Europe, Northerners are often trafficked to the Middle East and Asia, where they face exploitation and abuse. Within Nigeria, Northern adults are trafficked to the South and forced to beg. and forced to beg. This exploitation is fueled by poverty and neglect. Children are stolen from the north and taken to the southeast, where their identities are completely changed. Almajiranchi involves child trafficking and modern-day slavery. We must stop the trafficking of vulnerable northerners by people who take advantage